is a choice that a lot of parents in the world have made. It has been forced on a lot of parents who did not make that choice. But now, because we're quarantined, because of the lockdown, all parents are forced to homeschool their kids. So a lot of people want to know how to transition from mainstream schooling to homeschooling. Well, I'm here to help you. I don't generally homeschool my child, but what I have been doing all my life with her is that using mainstream schooling and then using homeschooling elements to support her schooling. That's what I've been doing like since I became a mom. So this way is very good and efficient. So it was easier for me to transition into homeschooling because I already had workstation and schedule and all this in place. So I'm here to share all my secrets with you. Hope it'll help you. Join me till the end because I'll be walking you through creating workspaces, scheduling, timings, and also give you a few tips that I have learned that can help you. So let's get started. We first start with spaces. Now it's very important before you even get the books out, before you get anything out, to cord off spaces in your house to help your child. Just like you like having a desk when you're working from home, your child also needs a space where they can do their studies and then they can also play, and then they can also have TV time. A lot of times we don't have big spaces. Like I have a 1 BHK, which is a tiny space, but I have found a way to divide my space into a way that can have like a book, a reading corner, a play corner, a Lego corner, all in one, of course. So I have like a play space, and then I have a separate space for her schoolwork, her conventional schoolwork, which is math, science, all those subjects, right? So that's a desk which I've put her books, some resources, some pens, a little like a nice cup with lots of her pencils and her sharpeners in. So I've created a space that just looks very nice, that makes her also feel like she's important. Your child, whether you have a son or a daughter, is important, and to give them a space to work in, just like you've given yourself a space in your house. Of course, if you have your laptop and you're roaming around everywhere, it's different, but it's nice to give your child a space. So I would say, when it comes to get started, create a space to work, create a space to play, and create a space for entertainment for your child. Even if you have a small apartment, it is possible to do it. I do it with a 1 BHK. Then let's get started with timings. Now, I would not only say work what's best for your child. I would also go to an extent to say work what's best for you. It is very important for you also to get the time that you need to wash dishes and clean the house or do your work from home. Whatever you need to do, you are also important, so is your child. So I would not say only focus all your energy on your child and sacrifice everything, because it's not practical and it's not possible. So what I would say is, decide on a time where your child will study. For example, if the school has set, okay, from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock is going to be your time to study, then your school has set that time for you, so you can focus on that. So the first thing is understanding, like many alternative schools have this way where they understand what the child's prime time is. Okay, this is quite mind-blowing when I heard of it, where if your child likes studying in the morning, then you should have school in the morning. If your child likes studying in the afternoon, then have school in the afternoon. If your child likes studying late, I would say try and keep early schedules. But if your child really is more active in the night, then put the study time in the night, because the child's brain is most active at that time. So work with your child and their schedules. That's number one. Okay, of course work with your school and their timings that are set. But the third one is really important. Find a time that is convenient to you as well. I'm going to give you an example. For me, the time that is the prime time in our home is basically we schedule the school work from 9 to 6. Okay, it's a long time. I know everyone is going to be like, school from 9 to 6. But this is including a long recess, a long lunchtime, exercise, different elements, piano practice. So of course I'll run you through all those things. But we decided in our home that from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock was a good time for our child to be occupied, okay, and busy, because we needed that time to do our errands, to cook our lunch or breakfast or dinner or do our work from home. So we needed that time. So we set a schedule. I will be sharing the schedule, by the way, with you. The link is below. You can click on it and download. It's a free worksheet for you. You can print it out or you can copy it, whatever you need. But it's available, so you can download that from my website. But getting back to scheduling, so I decided that I wanted music and art and even subjects like home economics, which is basically cooking, stitching, and all that, a part of her schedule, because I like that. When I was in school, we had that in our schedule, so I incorporated that. Even though most Indian schools don't have music, and I mean many schools have, but many schools don't have music. Many schools don't have home ec in their curriculum. So I added those. So this is including that. So what I feel is that understanding the timings that are suited for you. Like for example, if you know you have to cook at 8 o'clock to you're cooking between 8 to 10. Okay, so that is your cooking time. I'm talking to women and men who are cooking. Then you know that at that time you won't be able to give your child that much attention. So you schedule an activity where your child doesn't need that much help during that time. So work according to your schedule and help your child do the studies. Like for example, my child needs help in, sometimes my child doesn't need any help in maths. So maths is a fun subject that I can just let her be and do maths. However, in language, she may need a little help and guidance. So I chalk out a time when I'm actually free to help her with her languages. So work around your child's strengths. And of course, you're going to have to get to know your child a little bit now. But work around their strengths and find a schedule that suits you. Earlier, because I've been applying the schedule even before schools restarted, I had 1 hour for recess and 1 hour for lunch, where she was allowed to do whatever she wanted. Of course, when school started, that 1 hour recess got replaced with social studies. But my daughter was like, oh, recess is cut. And then Zumba became reduced to 30 minutes rather than 1 hour, because of course we had to adjust other subjects according to the school schedule. So keep your schedules open. Don't be so strict. Like for example, you may be hearing me and saying, hey Sangeeta, how are you managing to wake your child up in the schedule? I do not wake up my child early morning. I don't. 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock is just kehne mein. Like I have a schedule, but I'm not a Hitler about the schedule. So if my daughter wakes up at 10, no problem. We start the schedule from the time and adjust the timings accordingly. That's just me. I don't believe in too much of regimental environment in the house, especially given that there has to be some understanding between parents and kids. But I'll talk more about that a little later.